Hey everyone, I'm Lincoln Parks. Welcome to the I'm Local podcast. In a world where big corporations dominate the market, it's easy to forget about the unique and vibrant businesses that make our communities thrive. That's why I created the I'm Local podcast, a podcast dedicated to showcasing the incredible stories and contributions of local businesses just like yours. Each episode, I'll be diving into the heart and soul of a different local business. We'll hear from the passionate entrepreneurs behind the scenes as they share their personal journeys, their business philosophies, and the challenges and triumphs that make ownership so rewarding. Whether you're a longtime resident looking to rediscover the hidden gems in our own backyard, or an aspiring entrepreneur seeking inspiration and guidance, I'm Local is here to connect you with the stories that matter most. So buckle up, get ready to be inspired, and join me as we explore the fascinating world of local businesses on I'm Local. Well, welcome everybody to the I'm Local podcast. Today, I am excited to speak with Mr. Don Dunlap from the Our World School. Don, welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you, Lincoln. We appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. So Don, I know I've known you for some time, in Henry County, and you're well known all in the community. And I know you made a transition recently, and you are now at All World School. So for those that are watching and listening, just give a brief background about yourself, and then how you got to Our World School.
So, a brief about myself. I had a business career for a while, got tired of complaining about what people were producing in the educational system. So I quit business and started teaching business in K-12 school here in Henry County. Did that for 19 years. During that time, I served on several different boards of directors, one of which was the board that oversees the 501c3 that operates Our World School, which is a special needs school for students here in the Southern Crest of Metro Atlanta. And they lost their executive director, or we, I guess. And so I was talking to the founder, Linda Clark, and she was interested in seeing if I'd be able to come and maybe serve in that role for them. I talked to my principal, and she was good with it. I talked to the superintendent, Mary Elizabeth. She was okay with that. And so they both congratulated me. So I came over here right after fall break last year and have been executive director of that nonprofit since then.
Wow, that's awesome. And I know, like you said, you've been in so many leadership positions, and now leading up Our World School. So I know you briefly touched on who Our World School is and what you're doing there, but give us some background a little bit into who are the students and who are the families that are a part of Our World School and who you guys are servicing.
So we're a school for students with special needs, which basically means if you have an individualized education plan, an IEP, is what we talk about that in the public school system. Those are the students that we would serve. And that is a requirement to be served by us. There are an awful lot of special needs folks in this community. So it's not like, we're having to scramble for people. Really, it's just people knowing that we're here. So anybody from K-12 that is a special needs student is eligible to be here. The thing that makes us kind of unique is that we are a private school. We serve students between 5 and 10 students in a classroom. So the class sizes are really small. There is a teacher and a paraprofessional in each classroom. So we've got a really small student-teacher ratio, which allows us to individualize what we do for our students. And we're probably the only private school that you've heard of that actually does IEPs. We have our own IEP software. So if you leave us and go back to the public school system, let's say you come to us and you don't have toilet skills and maybe you've got some behavior issues or you're not verbal yet, and we can get that to the point where you're able to be in a less restrictive setting and you want to be back in public school, we can send you back with an active IEP. So you're receiving special education services as you're making that transition, which is vitally important in that time. So
Gotcha.
it's really a game changing thing. And having we do life skills in all of our classes, from the little folks, potty training and up to the big folks. Like this afternoon, they're going to be mixing and baking. So tomorrow morning, we open a little coffee shop from 8 to 9 every Friday morning. So they'll
Okay.
be selling to the public and to parents the goods that they made the day before. So they're practicing their cash handling skills and the things that they're going to need out in the big world. We're trying to equip them to be successful post-secondary citizens.
Man, that's phenomenal. Just and again, that's something that we didn't even know about, that you guys are doing for the general public to come in and really participate in that. So that's great. So how do people or parents that are interested, how do they get enrolled or get information from you guys, or how does that process work?
Well, you can go to our website, ourworldschool.org, and you can get some information there. You can make an inquiry there. You can fill out an application there. But really, dropping me an email at don.dunlap@ourworldschool.org, or my cell phone, text message or whatever, 678-283-7946, is a great way to do it, because I'd like to have you come visit the school. Let us see what we do. Let us talk with you and your son or daughter, and let's see if it's a good fit.
Right.
Just even if you don't come, to know that it's here, and let us help have you kind of make that journey with us. It may be that we're not the place that you want to be, but we can help you with some resources that will help you, even if you're not a student here. We want to help anyone in the special needs community in the Southern Crescent.
Man, that's phenomenal. And you guys are, what I want to encourage folks to do is definitely to stop by and see Don at Our World School. Because I remember, this might have been a year or two ago before you were there. I stopped by, and I don't know if this is still there, but there was a bank that they were operating inside the school, and the students were operating the bank. Is that still an option, or is that, or things have changed since then?
So we're actually having to utilize that space. I have
Gotcha.
been creative at creating classrooms.
Yes.
So we've gone from 6 to 9 in the last year. So that was something that we weren't able to continue doing. But the coffee shop we've been able to kind of expand that. We actually have a cart that we roll out back where the parents are dropping off students on Friday mornings. So it's kind of like a drive-through. And so the parents that can't come, they've got to go to work, but they can still be helping our students develop those skills out in our quote unquote drive-through area.
Love it, love it, love it. So Don, what would you say is a highlight since you've been there? What is something that you're most proud of that you would consider a highlight for Our World School?
Well, one of the things that, and it's not me, it was here before me. I helped install it actually, but we've got this indoor playground that for me is just the highlight of it. All of the kids really like it, and it's built into everybody's schedule. It's indoors, so we can use it 24/7. It's got heating and so we can use it year round. So it's really neat. The other thing that I really think is important is that our kids are interacting with everyone in the school. They know everyone. They're not sitting in one room like you would typically see with special ed. They're going from an instructional setting to specials like art or recreation or whatever, instructional setting to the cafeteria, instructional setting to the playground. So they're interacting with all the other people in the building. All the adults know all of the kids know all the adults. And we've got a couple therapy firms that I allow to use space here, so their parents don't have to leave work to come and pick the kids up and that kind of thing. So that way they can stay at work, and the therapist just goes and gets the student, does it, brings them back. So all of those adults are constants as well. So everyone in this building all knows each other, all likes each other. I mean, it really is like a family here.
Yeah, I could sense that as well. And knowing you and knowing your background and what you're doing there, I know you have that family atmosphere. So another thing I wanted to ask is throughout. Okay, so 2024, we're here, and I mean, time's flying by already. It's already the 11th, and you're looking. So, what would you say are some of your goals for Our World School in 2024?
Well, one of the biggest things that we have had is a need for space.
Yeah.
There's a huge need for our service, but we have a finite amount of space. And we are blessed that yesterday we were able to announce that we are going to be moving this summer
Okay.
to 400 Lake Dow Road in McDonough.
Wow.
We're moving into a church building there that has actually two buildings. So we'll be able to have an upper and lower school and be able to expand to probably triple our capacity down the road.
Wow. Wow.
It also has, using the sanctuary, it will allow us to do our special needs pageant, which is April the 20th this year. Eagles Landing is hosting it for us again, but next year we'll be able to do it right on our campus.
Man, that's phenomenal. That's exciting news
It's awesome.
for you guys. Yeah, that is great because like you said, there's such a need in Henry County for a school like Our World School, and now with that news of expansion, that's going to make it more accessible to so many more people. So that's amazing. Um, so I wanted to ask you also, like, you are you still and I know you've been heavily involved in the community and you're doing and you're moving and shaking. Are you still a part of any other boards, any other organizations, anything like that in Henry County? Or I know your time is limited because you're getting out and about. What are you doing now?
Well, way back in January last year, I resigned all of the boards that I was on so that I could run for county commissioner.
Yeah,
Unsuccessfully, but
it's all right.
I wanted to, if I was successful at that, I wanted to be available to constituents.
Yes.
So I did maintain my membership in the Henry County Kiwanis Club because I had the Key Club over when I was at Excel and Patrick Henry, and the youth component of that it's so important. So I'm
Absolutely.
still a member of the Henry County Kiwanis. I'm actually their president elect, so I'll be their
Okay.
president next year. Um, and that really is about the biggest thing that I'm doing outside of here. I'm
Gotcha.
very active in a local networking group, BNI, their Southern Crescent chapter.
Yes.
And so those are the two things that I'm doing, I'd say outside of here, but I'm actually using them as a way to get the message out about us to those different communities.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's important because I know being a part of such organizations like that, it does help you, spread the word about what you're doing. So hopefully this is a help to assist you and getting the word out there. So we try our best to help in that aspect. So in this segment, and we're just going to be wrapping up here. So in this segment, this is like a rapid fire segment. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and and then we'll wrap it up. So I want to ask you, what is your favorite book or movie or business story that you could share with folks?
Um, there's so many, but I think The Minute Manager is
Mm,
probably one of my best.
gotcha.
It's
Minute
it's a
Manager.
T90 thing, and it if you want to learn to be a good supervisor, a good leader, it's a really great way to basically reinforce good traits in leadership.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep that. We'll make sure and make that a resource on the website. So the Minute Manager. So the next thing I have is, are there any hidden talents that Don Dunlap has that nobody knows about?
Sweet Lord, I don't know. Um, I'm not a very talented person. Um,
Come on.
I play piano and organ at Timber Ridge Presbyterian. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can come hear me play and sing.
Yes. And guess what? I have heard, and I don't know if it was on YouTube or if it was on Facebook or somewhere, but I've seen you play, and you sound really great. So that's definitely a talent that I know you have for sure. Um, so the last question I have for you is there like a local gym in Henry County that you frequent, that you and your wife go to, that you guys support?
Well, there's a lot of places in Henry County that are amazing, but
Yeah.
I think we need to highlight one. Kirby G's Diner over in
Mm,
McDonough.
yeah,
Neil's an amazing guy. The food
absolutely.
there is great. They have had a really tough time. A truck backed into their building, a garbage truck, I think,
Yes.
and they have been closed forever, effecting those repairs and getting everything done. And I
Yeah.
would encourage folks in this community, please go patronize Kirby G's. The food is amazing, um,
Yes.
but the service is amazing. But even more, he is such an advocate for this community. We really need to give back by helping him out, by going by and patronizing him, giving his staff that he's getting trained some
Yeah.
people to work on.
That's
So
right.
that
That's right.
would be my thought right there.
Yeah, I second that too. Neil is a great guy. I love Kirby G's, and I'm glad he's back open again. And I know my family and I we frequent Neil and Kirby G's. So and you could probably tell by my waistline that, but I really love their food. So Don, any advice or anything you would give someone that's probably listening to this or going to watch this, if they want to be in your shoes, they want to follow in your footsteps, any advice that you would sort of give someone looking for that?
Well, start now. Start
Yeah.
yesterday, developing yourself and developing your network of folks. Whether you want to be executive director of a nonprofit or you want to start a business or whatever, anything that you want to be successful at, you need to build a network of people that you know and that know you, so that
Mm,
down the road, when you do launch that business or when you do accept that dream job, you've got a network of people that you can call on that can help you and that are in your backyard so that they
yeah.
can be uh, beneficial to you and you can be beneficial to them. It's the
Yeah.
giver's gain thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I totally agree. That is some great advice, and I hope folks take heed to that, because I know you followed that, and that's advice that I followed as well in this community. So thank you for sharing that. And Don, I just want to thank you for taking the time to be on the podcast today and just sharing a lot about our world school, and leaving some nuggets with those that are listening and watching. So totally appreciate it. And I totally appreciate your time today.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me.
No problem. Have a good one.
Take care. You too.